The following podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Any unauthorized distribution or duplication may be punishable by prosecution, civil liability, or the wrath of the tall man. Boy. And that's the... I'm going to blame the half a fifth of Grand Eddie's vodka on that poor Angus Scrim impersonation. This is 90 for Jill, the podcast. A little bit of a bonus episode talking about the first day of Fan Expo Chicago 2023, which, you know, is pretty, I would say, uneventful. I don't mean that in any nasty way. It's just that, you know, all the celebrities except for the voice actors are going to show up come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, but the floor was fun. Found interesting books like a parody series of if you give a mouse a cookie, like if you give a lab, if you give a dog a doobie, and I bought a couple copies of if you give a cat a cocktail. So, yeah, I think that makes the day a winner. Otherwise, on my autograph quest, which I didn't think was going to be so intensive until I get the final email listing the guest, and it's like, all right, well, I got a Funko for Tara Strong, I got a Funko for Christopher Lloyd, I got a Funko for Keith Sutherland, I've got a Funko for Giancarlo Esposito. So, oh gosh, that's going to be a lot of money spent. So, when it comes to Christopher Lloyd, he's charging $120 for an autograph, and then he's going to up it at least $20 if you bring an item for him to autograph. That's considered a premium autograph. So, yeah, no. So, sorry, Christopher Lloyd. I hope you'll be around for another 90 years, but I will take the hit on that. And to my own fandom discredit, I did put that in one of my large moving boxes, which I primarily use so my cat Ava could hop up onto beds and other furniture I'm comfortable with her doing. So, yeah, there's going to be some little shit if I ever try to resell that says, well, it's not mint condition. And it's like, Dr. Emmett Brown has not been out of the case, so how is it not mint? I do not like the fact that we are encouraging people to sign the boxes. Now, if you're going to do a bunch of fan art, which I've seen a lot of people resell Funko Pops with, that's kind of cool. I did get one autograph today. That was for Tara Strong, and yeah, the hidden fees kind of snuck up on me. Like, it was $60 for the autograph, but I brought my own Funko Pop of the Toys R Us exclusive Raven from Teen Titans Go. So they put $20 on that. No big deal. And then they asked me if I wanted to get a quote from Tara. And it's like, yeah, that sounds cool. And yeah, that was an extra $20. And I don't really regret that. It was an awkward situation, like, what quote do you want me to put on it? And it's like, well, you have so many. And again, you get a lot of people who get autographs and just talk the celebrity's ear off, and that kind of frustrates me. And believe me, when people are waiting at 5:30 like I was, and then she has to go off, and we can't get the autographs done in time for her to go off to her 6:30 photo op. I mean, I don't know. I don't really dig these photo ops situations. Like, dude, just take a freaking selfie in the line, I guess. My opinion. The Poetic Critic is here. You've done photo ops. You've hugged the shit out of Jeff Goldblum. Are they really worth that extra private space?
There is something really nice about photo ops. They are relatively rushed at these kind of conventions, it's true. But I found that celebrities do try to make the most of the moment for you, in my experience, anyway.
Well, he's he's Jeff freaking Goldblum. He's like the coolest guy. Like, I'm trying to explain it, like trying to come up with a crappy Goldblum line. So, I don't know. If you didn't pick up on the Poetic Critic, since I'm recording this on my phone, she says, yeah, they are worthwhile despite they feel kind of rushed, but the celebrities do make the time for you. So, great. She's going to make me spend another $40. Like, I'm going to need that entire Kiefer Sutherland experience. Fortunately, I don't own a Jason Patrick, the Michael pop from The Lost Boys, so I don't have to worry about that one. But, yeah, otherwise, like, I did end up buying some comics from a guy who was like, oh, all the proceeds go to animal rights, animal humane societies. And I'll have to go and grab that bag. And find, let's see. So the comic books are the Here Comes Calico. And he's showed me plenty of quotations from online critics saying that the Punisher has nothing on this guy who punishes those who hurt animals. So it's from Sigma Comics, and like he was boasting about the regular price being $2.99, and it's like, I think a regular comic, if it's just regular paper, is $4.99, $5.99 at worst. I'm a sucker for buying the DC black labels, which is going to add another $2 on. But so I got 2 issues for $5, and all the money goes to the Humane Society. So that's kind of cool. And of course, that's the biggest problem. You don't want to get caught by these. You got to kind of keep moving through Artist Alley so you don't get caught up by these people trying to pitch their comic books. I mean, some of them are probably pretty awesome, but I only have so much money, and I'm fighting the temptation of buying the $350 HDMI emulator, which has all of the consoles up to before we had true CD games in the PlayStation. So this gives me arcade games like Capcom's Alien vs. Predator, which was pretty cool when the guy put the demo on. So there are a couple of cool lightsaber dealers, but there's no Ultra Sabers. So that's the problem. If there was Ultra Sabers around, I'd say, no, I'm not going to buy myself another 3-figure lightsaber. But these have USB charging. I think that's a little better but it has a new hat. So yeah, a lot of it is really on Thursday, just being on the floor. Rocky Horror Bingo Show was kind of blah, I think. It was just very fast bingo games, and then we're going to watch the movie and not do any more bingo. So, kind of like, but I did check out this version of Nerdlesque. It's a troupe out of Minneapolis. I believe they're the NerdDom universe, and it's a pretty solid show. Great mingling of genders in it. Some fun. There was a great Firefly tribute with Little Nas X's and Old Time Road. So a lot of fun. A lot of people, real art of the tease kind of stuff, which I like. I don't like the fact that I was ID'd. Well, I should say I didn't like the fact that I had to show my ID when plenty of younger folks got through. But hey, at 43, if you're asked for your ID, as Sam Elliott would say on Robot Chicken about white wine, well, I don't want to put the explicit sign on it, so we won't say what Sam Elliott. But there's really no better cursing than the cursing of Sam Elliott. I will say that. So, anything you caught that was interesting? TPC? Well, I mean, any interesting cosplay besides? Well, you did tell me that somebody did 1920s Christine.
From Phantom of the Opera, yes.
Yes, and she had a Lon Chaney toy with her.
Yeah, she had one of those little action figures.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that frustrates me because you should really save that for your Friday or Saturday when everybody's around. Like, I did not put on my Captain N or my makeshift Back to the Future today. It's Thursday. You know, it's as important as an M. Bison Tuesday. So, but, so yeah, things should pick up tomorrow at Fan Expo. I know you're actually going to have panels compared to, well, how was the Final Fantasy rhythm game?
I couldn't quite figure it out.
No,
it's not my...
Yeah.
It's nobody's fault. I don't know Japanese.
Right. Yes, they have a Japanese arcade room with genuine Japanese arcade machines. So I had played a couple rhythm games. One which was like move your hands, and it's kind of like, well, this isn't quite DJ stuff, but I don't know. You really want to keep up with that K-pop stuff. And it's probably not K-pop, sorry to offend my Korean audience. The Dance Dance Revolution, give me some time. I think I can master that. So, otherwise, it wasn't really that exciting. Like, you had the one drum game, which if you watch a lot of old Pride Fighting Championship and you see the intros for their shows with the people banging the drums and such, that's pretty cool. But, so yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of disappointed in the vendors. Like, as I say, we got 2 lightsabers, but we don't have Ultra Sabers, the pinnacle of sabers. And this is like, I remember, I think it was Fan Expo a couple of years ago where we had the people selling cool Apple Watch bands, and nobody's around selling me cool Apple Watch bands. Make my Apple Watch look like a Game Boy. I don't want to be one of those hipster Gen Zs, millennials who just like, well, no, just buy a watch that looks like a Game Boy. No. I'm technologically advanced. So those are the drunken ramblings of a podcaster at a Comic-Con in Chicago. I think they're running a pretty cool show, and it's easy to sneak booze into. So I don't really know what else you can ask for. So thank you for the little interjections from the Poetic Critic. The numbers look good when you're on, Rory. What can I say? So we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go to the trouble of releasing this as a bonus episode. Sorry to offend or back off on some of my promises, but I mean, who knows? With weird feed rules, it's probably best that I don't just go and throw this right out there. In other words, I'm tired. In a Madeline Kahn Blazing Saddles sense. I guess I would say that works when you consider the money I threw out today with extra charges. It's kind of like the I'm So Tired song. And we'll leave the implications at that. So, thanks for listening to the 90 for Chill, the podcast. Follow on your favorite podcast apps. 5-star reviews, preferably. I will reciprocate. Be as honest as you'd like in the reviews. Follow me at Twitter, CarBusRuss, and Mastodon at Russ Stevens at mastodon.social. And no, I don't have any plans on getting Threads. Thanks, Stacia Harden, for looking after my butt, and I hope she's squeezing the ever-loving or undead poop out of Skimbleshanks, the one-eared angel.